So Pauline is a little hiking machine. She's obsessed with hiking, and if I don't go with her to keep her safe, she's probably going to get herself killed one of these days. So I did my duty as a husband, went with her for 7 days. We covered 219 kilometers. She originally wanted to do 16 to 18 days and cover over 500 kilometers, but I got her down to a one-way trip, and she's like, okay, yeah, if you join me, then I'll just go one way. That's the art of negotiation, my chanas. At the same time, I'm glad I had some incentive to get out of the comfort zone. Life gets a bit comfortable when you've got your espresso machine and your warm showers and things like that. So it was good to get out and get amongst it, camp in a tent, eat camping food like baked beans, baguettes, and fucking chocolate soy milk, my brew. So we like to keep it light on our hikes. Our backpacks weighed 7 to 8 kilograms. And even though mine is smaller, I carried the heavier items in mine, and Pauline carried the lighter items in her that are higher volume, like sleeping bags and blow-up mattresses, inflatable mattresses. And you can see the scenery looks wonderful, especially in the Vosges area. As soon as we got outside of the Vosges area, the hiking trails pretty much stopped, and we often found ourselves having to do detours as the trails were overgrown, often with nettle, which stings quite a lot on the legs if you've got no choice but to go through. Otherwise, you have to take the road, which is 3 to 4 kilometers longer. And yeah, it seems there's not so much of a hiking culture outside of the Vosges area, or as the Frenchies call it, les Vosges. Now, I don't know if they talk about camping in other places in the world as roughing it, but that's how we call it in South Africa. So in the 7 days we were roughing it, and what it helped me to gain is some perspective and appreciation for the wonderful comforts that we take for granted in everyday life, like having your own personal shower, having a nice comfortable bed to sleep in with linen and things like that, and having a spacious house that you can move around in. When you live in a little tent, then it's quite a mission to go out and just take a piss. Petting this little guy was definitely one of the highlights of the trip. Often the cows are traumatized, the cows that we found along the way, and they won't let you come close to them or pet them or anything like that. So it was surprising to see that this cow was receptive to some love. In the Vosges area, there's also lots of mountains and streams, so there's plenty of drinking points with the best water or some of the best water that I've had in my life, as you can see here at the water fountain. And then after the Vosges area, there's no more of that, so you just have to settle for regular tap water. And this is one of the camping sites that we stayed at, and this was the first day's camping site. So one thing that is important to add in this video before I forget is that my vision improved a lot going on this hiking trip. Whereas we usually spend a lot of our time on screens, especially the small phone screens, I think it really puts a strain on your vision. And if you spend too much time doing that, at least for me, my vision became blurry at longer distances. So getting out in nature just seems to be the ultimate therapy for restoring your eyesight. As for the food that we carried with us, it was mostly packaged food. We did have some fresh food along the way, but we could only carry max 2 days of food in our backpacks at one time. So how we did it is every new town that we came to, at the end of each day's hike, we would stock up on food for the remainder of that day and for the next day. So we would buy things like this that you see over there, sauces, bread, packaged rice, things like that, biscuits, chips. And at the one market at the Carrefour, we also found some vegan cheese that went really well with some chips and bread. So as for the physical difficulty, the intensity is obviously not that high since you're just going at a walking pace, although it can be higher when you're climbing mountains. You do start to get a little bit of a breath going. The most difficult part was just the pressure on the feet and also a little bit on the shoulders from the backpack. My favorite camping food that makes it the easiest to get the calories in is a baguette with baked beans and tomato sauce, and also chocolate soy milk. Chocolate soy milk has up to 700 calories per liter. On hikes like these, I burn 400 to 500 calories per hour, depending on the route profile. So when I go shopping for food, I make sure to get more calorie dense stuff. 4 to 5 calories per gram is what we're talking about. That helps to keep the glycogen tank full, and it helps to keep the backpack light. Hiking is definitely not high on my list of preferred activities to do, but it is a good escape from the deleterious effects of modern life. We've become so accustomed to spending most of our time behind the screen and not enough time in the green. And that's what nature can do for you. That's what hiking can do for you. Along the way, it wasn't just all sunshine and rainbows. There were also slaughterhouses and dairy farms, and these places absolutely fucking stink. And this behavior is completely unacceptable in 2022, to be honest. There's so many vegan documentaries out there, and this behavior needs to stop if we're ever going to manifest peace on this planet. You can't claim to be a good, peaceful person if you're still supporting animal slavery, abuse, and murder. I understand that those words are not pleasant to hear if you're still eating animal products, but that is the truth, and the truth is extreme on this planet. And we have to call it like it is if it's ever going to fucking change. And that's how it is. You can go to any animal concentration camp, aka farm, they call it farms, but when you see it for what it is, it's a fucking concentration camp. Okay, on to something more pleasant. This was our favorite camping site. It was called La Jonquille. Had the best view of any camping site, and the owner was really friendly. She put some nice camping chairs there for us, offered to do our washing. It was great. I highly recommend La Jonquille. As for the statistics of the hike, the longest hike was 43.5 kilometers and the shortest hike was 18 kilometers. We averaged 31 kilometers per day and covered a total of 219 kilometers with 5,120 meters of elevation. It's all on Strava, so I will leave a link to each day's activity in the description down below. And you'll also see Pauline playing with a lot of the cats. She's obsessed with cats. She really loves them. And yeah, I just can't relate. I don't dig cats that much, but I'm glad that Pauline got to play with quite a lot of kitties. And that's it. I don't have anything else to say other than government and carnism is slavery. And our purpose on this planet is to end it by freeing one mind at a time. Enjoy the rest of the scenery. See you in the next video.
Free your mind. Free your thoughts. Free your spirit. Free your soul. Free your heart. Free your ego. Free your dreams.